Alright guys, I want to show you the knurling. I've got this scissor type knurler I got, and let's see if it's hard to set up with one hand, but we'll see what we can do with it here. So what you want to do with this is get it pretty close to the center of your material, and it don't need to be tight right now. Get it close. That'd probably be good. And then you can tighten the nut down, start getting you some pressure. Let's turn the spindle on and see. Let's see if I can get. Okay. So barely. That's plenty right there. Coolant will work for this, but I normally like to use WD-40. Let's try the coolant. I need to get before I keep on here, I need to get a crescent wrench and tighten my, you saw the wobble in that, and that means your nut is loose over here. Now we can tighten it down, turn the cooler on. Let's see if we can get a halfway decent knurl out of this thing. We'll go to the end, come back, and go to the end again, and see how it looks right there. I've got a double knurl. Got one of my wheels at a time here. Let's see how this does. I normally have pretty good luck out of this knurling tool, but I've never knurled aluminum with it, so I don't know how it's gonna. I know they'll galled up real quick on you if you're taking too much. Let's see how that. It don't need to be knurled, but you know, so far back. So we'll go. We'll go to right there. Let's see how that. Yeah, that turned out pretty good. It's hard to see on the camera. Don't want to get it. That turned out fairly decent. All right, so we can take that off. I'm happy with that. That grip, that's going to grip the inside of the handlebars so that it will not lose its position. We can take the knurler out. Now I've got to drill a hole in this thing. Let me see what I've got there. It is needs to be big enough for this to start. So we're going to go with a we're going to say 420. So let's see what we got here as far as drills go. The 422 would be nice. 2764. I believe I have that over here. I was using that the other day for. Yes, there's a 2764. So we will center drill and then drill that hole, however deep it is. I have to measure it here. I don't know that you have to have it that deep really, but I'm gonna make it just like the factory one. Well, you can't hardly. Okay. So it's gonna go 1.94 deep. It's got a flat bottom in there. I don't think it's gonna matter for me. So we'll go 1.875 on the depth on that one, so I don't see any reason having to go too deep. And we know what the goal is for this thing to open up and clamp on the inside of the handlebars. That's the number one goal here. So we got that center grill. We'll put our grill in. I did make me a hammer, guys. I want to show you this while I forgot. Made the hammer. Forgot all about videotaping any of it. That would have been nice. These round grooves are really interesting. The round grooves in this stainless worked out good. The taper worked out good. Everything really come out nice on the hammer. I don't know why I didn't videotape it, but I didn't. So that's just one more thing I didn't do. So let's get this thing up here. Alright, we're gonna go. I'd like to have my coolant on that because I don't know what's fixing to happen with this aluminum. It is fixing to galled up on me. And I gotta get me a better pump or something because it's not giving me what I want here. Let's get our, we're starting at 1 and 8. We'll go to 2 and 8 and then we'll move our there's 2 and 8. We go to 3. That should be 2, and that should be 1 and 7/8 if we go to 3. I think that'll be plenty on the depth of this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and drill the bolt hole too from this side. Sorry guys. Again, I'm not very good at doing this. I try. There's 3 inches here. You can hear it when it wants to. You can hear that aluminum when it starts wanting to galled up. It start making a tone, a different tone, and that's when you better be ready to back out. So we'll go to 3 inches. Trying to get in there so you can see it too. That should be 3 right there. Yeah, okay. So we can retract this. Let's retract our grill. Clean up our mess here. Yeah, you accidentally get a piece of stainless right there, and you think you're dealing with aluminum, and you rip it out of your hands, and you got all kinds of trouble. And you got your wife putting a Band-Aid on your hand like a little girl. Okay, now, so this hole needs to be 3/15, so we'll say a 5/16. 312 would be enough. And it's got to go plumb through, so we'll drill it plumb through. Let's put this 27/64 place. Let's put this thing in here, and there we go. Now let's move our carriage forward a little bit. Get this thing. There's stuff where we can do something. Turn it on. We got our. We won't feel we got it, but let's see here. go ahead and go further back. I think I'll be okay just push this thing to the back of the hole and getting it closed. And then just drilling. Then what you can do, you've got this, back that out, and you can back the carriage up and use it as a stop. You can pull that out, and then push it right back against your stop. Okay. So that's 2 rotations. Back off one, pull it out. You can turn the coolant on, and it would cool the drill somewhat. Push it back in there. Take a rotation or 2. Back it off. Pull it out. Let the coolant cool it off. You can get over here if you want to. It doesn't matter. Then push it back. Still gonna get on the chuck. Make a couple rotations. Back it out. I think that's gonna be deep enough for what we're doing here. So, clean that off. Okay, now, what do we need to do? We got the hole in it for this to go in. Which this has ears on it. I have to cut in with the bandsaw, but that's okay. Let's see, what else can we do? Can we do anything else from here? Yeah, I need to put a small angle right there. So let's figure out what kind of small angle we're talking about here. I'm going to 0 it, put it in metric. So that's our 0. And then up here it ends up being about 1 millimeter back. So what we can do, I've never done this, guys, so we're gonna be learning together here. Let's go in here and set our Z to the face. Turn it on. Set the Z to the face. Right there, say. Let's go ahead and make it official. That's our Z0. That's our Z0. We engage that. Still got 0. We're going to do an external cone. Okay. Z is going to go 1 millimeter. And I want X to go. This is, you got to measure. Hold on a minute, guys. I just have to measure this. So that is going to be my 0. This will be my 0 down in there. Well, I can't do that on this. I've got to do that here. So this is going to be my 0. That's going to be my 0 point. And then X is going to travel this far. $8 millimeters. So we're going to say 4. We're going to say 4. Back 1 and out 4. And what I'm going to do is move Z out. Like, we got our Z0 set. But I'm going to move it out here. And then we're going to reset 0 here. And I want to see, and we can both see, what this thing's going to do. Let's just watch and see what it's going to do. It says it's going to take 2 cuts. So, and go in. Okay. closer. It looks like it went, well, the 0 point's going to have to be right here. The 0 point's going to have to be right there for X, because it's going in. I'm going to set my X right there. So, and I see I'm going to set back to the, well, I'm going to set it at the front. Let's say right here. Set 0 right there. Well, this may crash, I don't know. We're gonna find out here. See what it does here. It goes back, it feeds in and out. Comes out, feeds in and out. So it touched that right there. Probably gonna touch it again lightly. And it did. And I'm okay with that. So now, let's move our Z back to 0. That's close enough to me. I'm not going to sit here and argue over hers. I'll see what it does. Going in and see that? Back. We'll touch just a little bit. That's okay. And that's the cleanup cut, it's the finish pass, and I'm okay with that. That looks pretty good. You've got the factory one has a little bevel on it. You see it, and that one looks like it matches pretty good. I don't have no arguments with that. Our length turned out pretty close. Of course, our diameter is different, but now I'm gonna cut this thing off. Like back here at this line. So let's get our cutoff tool in there, and we will we'll flip this thing over and face it to length from the back side. So let's take this thing and turn the X off so I can have control of it. Let's get this thing in here. Hopefully it drilled all the way through. So now, we'll turn our cooler on. And we will try to cut this off. Let's make sure before I do that I'm not cutting myself short here. So if I cut it off right there, it's going to leave me just a little bit to cut off. Okay, that's okay. We can deal with that. That's cooling in the area. Shouldn't have come, there we go. So the hole did get all the way through. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Okay. So now we can take this chunk out. We can check our measurements here. See what we got in metric, say. 0 calipers. Okay. Let's see what the length of it is. Okay, you got 48.9. Usually what I do is just 0 that and then see how much longer this is. That's like 1/2 millimeter longer. So what I'll do, go there and touch, and I'll program it to take 1/2 millimeter from that point. Let's get this thing in here and just check on it lightly. Okay, let's get this thing out. Put the tool back in, the turning tool. Turn it on. Now we can go in there and get us a face. Take 1/2 millimeter off. Okay? And you can always zero here, put it in metric. If you wanted to do it this way, you can. Just take 1/2 millimeter and just manually face it. If you want to do it that way, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to program your ELS if you don't want to. Now what I'm going to do is, that's going to be my 0 point. So now what I need to do is measure the difference between this. I'm going to zero that out, and this diameter. It's 6.3, so it's going to be 3.15 once I touch that. So we're going to do a turning. All right, so that's going to be my Z0, and Z0 is going to go. See how deep we're going to go with our shoulder here. 2.73. So we'll go up here and say Z PO is 2.8. It's gonna be close enough. And then we'll touch an X. We'll go up here and touch an X. Let me get my Z set. Back to 0. That's close enough. Z, 0. Alright, then we can go into X and just barely touch. Alright. That's a little heavy. So I'm going to say 3.0. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take a little light on this. Let's move my X0. And it's going to take just a few little cuts. It should be down there where we want it. I'm going to take a 6, it says. Let's see what it does here. Looks about right. Number 5. Number 6. And number 7. I'm just going to do that. Okay. Alright. Look at that. Let's see where it ended up at. It looks like it pushed the material. It looks like it pushed it back. It's got a taper on it. But that's okay, we can fix that. Yeah, if it was out there, it'd be perfect. So I'm gonna manually do that, guys. I'm gonna take it and face it. And just manually get that down there. Back just a little more, right there. Just go in there and face that off. And then go out here, just barely touch that diameter, and give me a nice smooth transition. In and out, and that's good. Let's see what we got here. We wanted it to be 15.89 it says. Let's see what we got. We got 16.2. So I'll probably take just a smidge off. Just go in there and just barely face it in it, or turn it just a little bit. Okay. probably hit it with some sandpaper just to knock any of the sharp edges off. Yeah. And this should be done here. Let's see. 15.89 is what we're shooting for. If it's a little less than that, I'll be happy. Okay, 16 even. So I'm happy with that. Take this out. And I've got to put it in the mill and do my little, do that little piece there, and it'll be done. So I'm gonna take it to his, he's my neighbor, I'm gonna take it over there and make sure it fits. If it does, we'll be done. Thanks for watching, guys.